Hello and a very warm welcome to everyone. I am Srija Agarwal and welcome to yet another episode of Myth and Science. With me today is a very special guest. I have with me Mr. SS Mundra, who is the former Deputy Governor of RBI. First of all, Mr. Mundra, thank you for talking to us and welcome on the
My
show.
pleasure.
So, my first question to you really, this entire conversation about the RBI and the government face off. For a country like ours, which essentially relies on imported capital to fund investment, what do you think it kind of sets an impression or sends a signal out in terms of precedence?
Well, look at this way. As far as the periodical standoff between any central bank and the government, these are not something very unique or very unusual, which suddenly would scare the investors, or they will just think that it is something very unusual happening. So that is not the case. Even if you are following and if you hear some of the recent utterances which is having in a country like USA, you would
Sure.
realize that the problem is that sometime in the whole media pronouncement, sometimes things are too enlarged. My point is, many of these things, to my mind, as I see, would have reached to this stage because of a serious gap in communication. You try to understand that one of the job of any public agency, public policy agency, and central bank of a country is no exception. In today's environment, one of the job of this institution is to have regular engagement with the external world, with the stakeholders, pronounce your position, which is also a policy tool, but at the same time also listen to the people of their own input. When there is a complete reluctance for the communication from the outside world, if no one is given an opportunity to put forth the viewpoint, and to some extent, if the same is happening within the internal functioning of the organization also, and if there is a body, overseeing body, call it a governing board, call it the central board, whatever it is, and if there also the discussion are not as free flow as they should be, I think these are the things which ultimately culminate into the situation which we are saying. So it becomes a kind of pent up, the situation
Resentment or
built
pent
over
up
a time,
resentment. Yeah.
which comes.
I mean, government really has invoked Section 71A, which is really unprecedented, in the history of this country. This can't really only be about communication.
The point you are mentioning is, we should not simply jump to the conclusion that someone would have been gravely responsible to exercise this kind of provision. If that was the case, and if you look at the history of recent past, the kind of enablers which were given to the institution, which were never given in the past, if the attitude would have been of such irresponsibility or arm twisting, I think in the first place this kind of enablers would not have been given.
So, do you think somewhere RBI lacked that judgment in terms of the communication was not really proper? Because in our conversation that we've had till now, you've mentioned the word communication quite a few times, and you said that communication was perhaps the backbone of the entire issue.
Yeah, surely. Actually, I think I was as clear as I could have been that probably there was a room to be little more receptive of the feedbacks or the even say wish list, not only from the one authority but from the several stakeholders. Because as a central institution, when you affect the several part of the country and the economy, it's very important to be prepared to at least listen to that.